Tomorrow, beer enthusiasts will take part in National Homebrew Day. WDBJ7's Neesey Payne is live at Southern Hills Homebrew Supply. Good morning, Neesey.
Good morning, Kimberly. I'm here with Rob Burton, and we are making a quick brew this morning. Now, we've already started the process because it takes about 3 hours to do this from start to finish. So explain to everybody what you've already started doing.
Well, right now, I've gotten my grains, my steeping grains, and those are going to add a little bit of color and mouthfeel to the beer. We've warmed up the water to about 150 degrees. We'll steep the grains there for about 20 minutes. Once that's done, which we're actually nearing now, we'll then bring the water up to a boil and add our extract, which is actually what's going to make our beer, and hops, our 60-minute hop edition. And
I guess we should explain what type of beer actually are we making today?
We are making a Northern German Altbier.
It's a mouthful.
It's tomorrow is National Homebrew Day. As part of that, the American Homebrewers Association organizes an event called Big Brew. And during Big Brew, everybody around the country, homebrewers all over the country, brew basically the same recipe. And you get a couple of choices, but this one is in celebration of the 500th anniversary of the Reinheitsgebot, which is the German beer purity laws.
Cool.
So.
Very cool. And so let's take a look at these grains here, because you used both of these to put into the water this morning. And you guys, I was smelling these this morning. This one here, it really, look, I'm not gonna lie, it just reminded me of a farm. But this one, this darker one smelled sweeter. So and this is really gonna help with the flavor, right?
Yeah, well, this is Carapils. It's a dextrin malt, and that actually gives you better head retention and better mouthfeel. The darker malt here is a crystal malt, and that gives you that sweeter flavor, the caramel flavors, a little bit of color.
So very cool. So this is going to take, we're boiling this right now. So hopefully by time we come back for our next segment, we're going to be on to another part of this part in making the beer. So Kimberly, stay with us, because this is really interesting. I've never seen this happen before, so I'm really excited to experience this morning.
It is an interesting process. I love what you call it. This kind of smells like a farm. I bet it doesn't taste like it, though. Yeah. We'll find out. All right, thanks, Neesey.
Well, this Saturday is National Homebrew Day. WDBJ7's Neesey Payne is live at Southern Hills Homebrew Supply in Roanoke, where they're making a quick brew. Good morning, Neesey.
Good morning, Garrett. That's right. We're making a quick brew, and so we started this process about 4:30 this morning. We put in 2 different types of grain and put that in the water. It's come to a boil. I'm with Rob Burton here. He's helping us make this quick brew. So, Rob, what else do we need to do? We turned off the heat here.
I did. I turned off the heat. We're going to add the extract right now. If you don't kill the heat when you add the extract, you really run a chance of scorching it, and that would not taste good. Yeah. So we'll add this, and once we get this all back in here, mixed up well, I'll stir it up real good and put the heat back on. And then once it comes right back up to a boil, we'll add our hops, our bittering hops.
That sounds really good. And I was talking to them earlier. I said, I don't know what this smells like. I'm trying to describe to you guys what it smells like. And Rob says beer. And that's true. But also, let's talk about just the smell of the grain, because we were talking about how people find that really comforting.
They do. A lot of folks really love the smell of our grain room. It's sort of like walking into a bakery. It's just got that wonderful smell to it, that cracked grain smell. It's a beautiful thing sometimes.
And this can be either a very lax process, or it could be a very calculated process, depending on what type of brewer you are, I guess you should say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
It's great. I mean, you can make any beer you want, any way you want. I've definitely put my time in when I'm designing my recipes, but there are times when you just have leftover ingredients and you want to make use of them. Yeah. And usually what happens is you still come out with a good beer. So yeah. It's fun.
Let's talk a little bit. Let's head over here in the store, because you've got something that people who really like to brew at home are going to enjoy. Tell us about this little system you've got down here.
Absolutely. We just got these in yesterday. It's the Grain Father. It's an all-in-one, all-grain brewing solution. You can brew 5 gallons of beer in it, use up to 20 pounds of grain, includes pump and chiller. It's an all-in-one unit you can use in your kitchen. It runs on 110 volt. It's wonderful.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Rob. Garrett, we're brewing. I'm learning. Are you learning too?
Yeah, I'm learning a lot. I'll tell you, my first homebrew did not go too well. It was too much like mint flavor, so I hope to get some tips for my future brewing situations or tests. Thank you so much, Neesey.
Yeah.
We'll join you later in the morning. Beer lovers will be making a big brews this weekend for National Homebrew Day. WDBJ7's Neesey Payne is live at Southern Hills Homebrew Supply, where they're making a quick brew. Good morning, Neesey.
Good morning, Garrett. We started this process almost a couple of hours ago. I'm here with Rob Burton. Rob, for people who are just joining us this morning, tell them everything that we have done so far to get to this point.
All right. Well, we collected our water and brought it up to about 150 degrees, and we added our steeping grains in there. We steeped that for about 20 minutes, and then brought the water up to a boil, added our extract, and then our bittering hops, and now we're just in the middle of the boil waiting for the next addition.
Yeah. So tell people what type of beer are we actually making right now?
We're making a Northern German Altbier.
Okay.
So it's we're celebrating 500 years of the German beer purity laws, the Reinheitsgebot. And so this year we're brewing that, a German beer in celebration of that.
So tell me, how did you get started, making beer? Because I feel like this is like a cult following. Like there's a certain, section of people who are really, really into this.
Well, I like beer. I was drinking craft beer back in the 90s. My brother-in-law started home brewing. He's like, oh, you should really do this. It's a lot of fun. And then I was like, it seems kind of difficult. Yeah. And I had a friend invite me over, and he said, oh, come over here. We'll make beer. And so I went over and brewed with him, and I said, well, that's all there is to it? I can do that. Wow. And so here we are.
So tell us a little bit about Homebrew Demo Day that's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, on May 21st, we're hosting the Star City Brewers Guild for Homebrew Demo Day. We're going to have homebrewing demonstrations going on out in the parking lot. We're having a beer tasting and lots of fun. It's going to be a great day.
Very cool, Rob. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Garrett, are you taking your notes?
Yeah,
I want your next homebrew to turn out okay.
Yeah, I do. I as well. Thank you so much, Neesey.
National Homebrew Day is also happening this Saturday. WDBJ7's Neesey Payne is live at Southern Hills Homebrew Supply, where she's learning how to make a big brew. Good morning, Neesey.
Good morning, Kimberly. That's right. Rob Burton, he's been showing me the tricks of the trade this morning. Rob, tell us about National Homebrew Day.
So National Homebrew Day was originally designated back in 1988. Congress set aside May 7th as National Homebrew Day. And since then, the American Homebrewers Association has decreed that the first Saturday in May of each year will be National Homebrew Day. Homebrewers all across the country get together and they brew beer, and everybody at one time they all toast. So here on the East Coast it's 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Everybody's going to toast homebrew.
That sounds like a lot of fun. We've been making a quick brew this morning. Tell everybody what exactly we've been making.
It's a Northern German Altbier, and Altbier is an amber-colored, malty, fairly bitter German beer with a nice clean finish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's nice. I've been trying to pinpoint exactly what this smells like, and I'm gonna say it smells like syrupy, like bitter with a little bit of sweet to it. That's kind of like how I'm gonna describe it. So the brew is now at a boil. You have this big contraption right here. Tell everybody what that is and what you're about to do with it.
This is my immersion chiller. It goes in towards the end of the boil, and I'll put that in ahead of time so that the boil actually sanitizes it. And when we're done boiling, I run cold water through it, and the copper pipe and the cold water suck the heat out of the wort and chills it down.
And you have a lot of, in your store, a lot of Virginia ingredients in here. Let's talk a little bit about that. I know you have some over here.
Yeah, we've got, it's awesome. We've got enough stuff you can make your own all Virginia beer. We've got our grain. It's grown in Virginia and malted up in Sperryville. We've got hops that come from Meadowview and Rocky Mount. And we've got yeast that's cultured here in Virginia, and the lab is located in Richmond, Virginia.
All right. Very cool. Rob, thank you so much for joining me this morning, showing me how to make my own brew. I'm feeling a little bit more confident about it, so thank you for that. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you.
Kimberly, what I've learned is that you got to be patient during this process.
Exactly, exactly. We know what you're going to be doing this weekend, Neesey. Brewing some home brew. All right, thanks.
Beer enthusiasts will be gathering to make their own brews this weekend. It's all for National Homebrew Day.
Yep, WDBJ7's Neesey Payne is live at Southern Hills Homebrew Supply, where she's been learning how to make a big brew. Good morning, Neesey.
Good morning, Kimberly and Garrett. National Homebrew Day is this Saturday. People all over the U.S. are going to be gathering in groups to make their own big brews. And then about 1 o'clock here on the East Coast, everyone's going to raise their glass and make a toast. It's really been a lot of fun this morning learning how to make a quick brew. I've learned that, it's a long process. It requires patience and a lot of calculation if you want. Kimberly and Garrett, coming up on May 21st, there's actually a homebrew demo day happening right here from 11 to 4. People are encouraged to come on out.
Yeah, it takes patience to brew beer or make wine, any of those things.
Yeah, and a little chemistry as well.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Neesey.